Good day, learners! A new day of exciting and fun learning. In this video lesson, you are going to discover the history and basis of naming elements. Do you know that there will be no other kinds of matter without elements? Yes, elements can be found everywhere. In fact, in the entire universe. To date, there are 118 named and identified elements. 92 of them are naturally occurring and the rest are artificially prepared in laboratories with the use of new technology. Every element is described to be unique because each element has its own name, chemical symbol, and atomic number. However, some elements may have properties similar with other elements. This allows the elements to be arranged in an ordered table called periodic table. Let's look back to the history how elements are being arranged. This is the timeline of the elements arrangement. In 1743, Antoine Lavoisier wrote the first extensive list of elements. He recognized and named oxygen and hydrogen. He also predicted the existence of silicon. In the year 1780, Johann de Borena found the properties of bromine. He found out the appearance and reactions of the elements in a triad were similar to each other. Then he introduced the de Borena triads, and it was a group of 3 elements. After years, John Newland was the first person to devise a periodic table of chemical elements arranged in order of their relative atomic masses. In the year 1830, Lothar Meyer is a chemist who worked for the arrangement of elements by atomic weight and discussed the relation between the atomic weights and the properties of the elements. And year 1834, Dmitry Mendeleev. He is the best remembered for formulating the periodic law and creating a far-sighted version of the periodic table of elements. That's why he is considered now as the father of the modern periodic table. Have you seen a periodic table? Okay, let's take a look at this. This is the periodic table of elements. Elements are arranged based on their increasing atomic numbers. From left side, the horizontal from top to bottom, it describes the energy level. We call it periods. And from the left to right side, the vertical, these elements have similar physical or chemical characteristics and we call it groups. In this periodic table, you will also see the names of the elements and symbols. Some names of the elements end with En, for example, hydrogen and nitrogen. Some end with Um, for example, helium, beryllium, potassium. And some elements end with On, for example, argon and xenon. And you will also notice that the chemical symbol of the elements consists only by 1 or 2 letters. Yes, every element is described to be unique because each has its own name. But what are the bases in naming the elements? Here are the bases of naming elements. First, some elements are named after the people who discover elements. Next, some elements named after the scientists who are well known for their contribution. Some of them received Nobel Prize and contributed great knowledge in science. For example, the element Einsteinium. It was named after Albert Einstein, who is famous with his study about relativity, and he is considered also as the father of modern physics. Next element we have Mendelevium. This element was named after Dmitry Mendeleev, the father of modern periodic table. Next we have Rutherfordium. It was named after Ernest Rutherford. He discovered that an atom has a nucleus and its structure. Curium. This element is named after the scientists Pierre and Marie Curie. This couple received Nobel Prize, contributed great knowledge in physics. Some names of the elements are derived from minerals in which they are found. For example, we have calcium. This name is derived from the Latin word calyx. It means lime, a mineral found in many foods. Another one is silicon, from the Latin word silex. A mineral means hard stone. Here are some elements that derive from the Latin words: copper, gold, silver, iron, mercury, tin, potassium, and sodium. Some elements are named after the places where they are found. For instance, polonium. It is named after the country Poland. It was discovered by Pierre and his wife Marie Curie. Next we have germanium. It was named after the country Germany, the Latin word of Germania. It was discovered by Clemens Winkler. Some elements are named based on their properties or characteristics. For example, the hydrogen. The name derived from the Greek word hydro and genes, meaning it has water-forming property. Lastly, there are elements that are named from the astronomical object or mythological characters. For example, in astronomical object, we have uranium. It was named by Martin Klaproth after the discovery of the planet Uranus. Another example is neptunium. It was named after the planet Neptune. This neptunium is beside the element uranium, just like the planets. For the mythological characters, for example, the element helium. This element is named after the ancient Greek myth Helios, the god of sun. Next we have the element selenium. This element is named after the ancient Greek myth, the goddess of the moon, Selene. Here are some common elements with their chemical symbols: carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, cobalt, argon, gallium. To summarize what we've learned today, here are the bases of naming elements. Elements are named after people who discovered the elements. Some elements are named after the scientists who are well known for their contribution in science. Some elements are derived from minerals in which they are found. Some elements are named after the places where they are found. Some elements are also named from their characteristics or properties. And some elements are named from their mythological character or astronomical object. Alright, so I hope that everyone enjoyed and had fun in this video lesson. Have a good day and see you in our next video lesson. Bye!